What's up, guys? It's the last full week of January. It's time to end this month really strong. We're sitting a little bit above 100 watches sold so far in the month. It's really great. The team is really working hard, but it's time to finish out strong.
Yeah, no, I like these pieces because you don't see these too often.
Yeah.
And that colorway, like the rose gold with the rhodium, it's a nice piece. He said you were speaking to somebody about us buying this. Do you know who you were speaking to? Not
That
sure.
person never, it's like, I used to start talking with them, and then somebody did message me earlier on today in the morning.
Gotcha. Can you show me, did y'all discuss price or anything? Yeah. And this one here is 2018. I like that rose on the gray.
Yeah, me too. That two-tone's nice. Super nice.
Yeah. And see, people always ask me about the 36. I had a convo with a guy today,
Yeah.
36 versus 41. I like the 36.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the 36.
It's a classic size.
Yep.
I'm not gonna,
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
That's the OG size at first.
Exactly. Yep. And people in the comments, I was gonna screw in the crown, so
Yep.
yeah, they will get on you. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure that's in so we don't damage that. And 9,500, I was just selling it outright.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me show it to our buyer just to make sure that's still fine. 9,500, though, is what you're looking to get for it.
I wanted a little bit more, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, we can, the way to give you more, I mean, we can do consignment.
It's fine.
Yeah, just want to
Yeah.
cash out.
Yeah.
Cool, no problem. What's the reason you want to sell it?
Well, I bought a house not too long ago, and I was gonna sell it.
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
To do a bigger down payment on it, and I was like, you know what? I bought the house, and I was like, I don't mind having the extra cash on it, you know. So.
Yeah, there you go, man. A lot of people in the real estate, you know, whether they're buying a house, buying stocks, and all that, watches go hand in hand. Yes, sir. All right, guys, so pretty much we have a two-tone rose gold rhodium dial 36 that we just bought. So we paid 9,500 for this. We're gonna retail it around 11,000. You know, I did relay that to him that he could consign to try to net him a little bit more, but he just wanted cash up front, which is fine. But I mean, it's a clean piece overall. I think a light touch up will do wonders, make that look new again. But pretty much no dents, no dings, clean bezel. I like this watch a lot. You know, people ask me about the 36s, what I think. I think they're great pieces. You know, I'm 6 foot, 210. My wrist size is right around size, 7, about 7-inch wrist, I should say. But just to give you an idea of what this watch would look like on wrist. So they still look good. You know, this is a newer style, so a little bit wider lugs than like a, 5 or 4 digit model.
It's still really nice.
Yeah, classy piece, man. Can't go wrong. So you'll catch this on our website once we get everything processed here in the next week or so.
All right, guys, so today Gavin and I are gonna show you the top 3 watches under 10K in our showroom. My favorite watch here is,
Don't you dare.
as far as the Omegas go, I'm gonna pick the Omega 57.
Damn, he did it.
Is that the one you are?
No, one more over from me.
Oh, really? Which one do you got? Okay, just a classic speed, the moon watch, all right.
Oh,
I mean, we're pretty much on the same page here.
Yeah, see, I like mine because mine looks a little bit more vintage. I like the bracelet. It has that Ed White looking bracelet on it. I don't watch our videos.
I don't either. Maybe that's the issue.
Probably.
I get sick every time I watch them.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Just
camera
weird seeing-
shakes too much.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
True.
I forgot about that, yeah.
I might have to do 4 watches, honestly, because I do want to highlight this one right here, this two-tone Seamaster. I just think it's a lot of watch for the money. This one is watch only, but it's like $5,500, which I think is a perfect first watch for someone.
Where you going with, Gavin?
Oh, wow.
So it's the first watch I ever bought, and for under 10K, I mean it's under 5K. So it's actually a brand new watch, but you can see the silver is tarnishing inside. So it actually gives a really cool patina, and honestly, coming from the military, if I knew what I knew about watches now, back then, this was probably the watch I'd wear, 100%.
That's sick.
Yeah, I love this thing.
I'm gonna count that first one as one pick because I just wanted to highlight 2 Omegas really quick. But my next one is gonna be a Panerai. I didn't know this released until when we got it in, but I think it's a 2022. It's a 40mm Panerai. So what I like about this one is also they started doing quick release straps, which is nice. I think all brands should do it. And I think almost all brands have it except maybe Rolex. Well, it's super easy to change straps. And today I'm wearing it's a watch only, 26320 chrono AP. So, perks of the job. Just to get back to this one's, I think it's 7,500, so that one's under 10K as well.
Coming in right at 10K, I think this is, perfect watch for the money. It's kind of like my wife has two sides, hungry and happy.
All right, for my last watch, I know I'm doing 4, but I have to go with the Grand Seiko Spring Drive, just because I've actually never seen this dial before until this one came in.
Yeah, I think it's sick too.
I love this watch. So typically you'll see the one that's like off-colored pink or the blue dial, but this one is almost like gray, but tan.
Yeah.
Champagne
It's like
kind of color.
colors.
Yeah,
It is really cool.
which is why I like this one so much. I guess they have variations based on the seasons, and somebody said that this one's like for autumn,
Okay.
which makes sense.
Yeah. And it's a different movement, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that about wraps it up for the best watches available under 10K. If you like any of the watches that you've seen here, make sure you contact us at Grand Caliber.
What's up, guys? It's Nick here at Grand Caliber, making my reappearance on YouTube. Somebody a while back said I should stay in a closet authenticating vintage watches, so I've been in there. Max made me come out of my vintage room, but I did pull, since I'm the 5-digit king, I pulled a very special 5-digit watch today. This is actually one of my favorite subs, and it's also a very significant sub. So with the Submariner lineup for 30 plus years, it was the quintessential diving tool watch, and it was extremely odd whenever Rolex came out with a 1680-8, which was a plexi crystal gold sub, because it was kind of the first iteration of where we've seen a sports watch become a little bit more in the realm of jewelry. Well, then in the late 80s, they came out with the 30 sub, and this one's from 2005, so a little bit later than that, but not much has changed between the 80s and the 2005 example, where they came out with these 30 dials, which is French for, or it's short for the French verb sortir, which means to set or gem set in this instance. So if you look closely at the dial, you'll see that at the stud markers, you've got diamonds, and then at the 6, 9, and 12, you've got sapphire indices. And these came in champagne dials as well as the rhodium dial like we've got here. And they also made these on GMTs. So it's just a really odd decision by Rolex, kind of one of the earlier iterations of what you see now that they're doing with things such as the puzzle dial and the, all of the emojis and stuff. Like, this was equally as odd back then to collectors, because they're like, this is your flagship sports model, this is your beat to shit watch, not your dress watch. But this is certainly a dress watch. I don't think I would go diving in this one personally. So, back then it was really weird for people to be doing something like this on a watch, or for Rolex specifically, because they are the tool watch manufacturer. Now we know Rolex in the light of jewelry a lot of the time, but back then they were just tool watches. And so this was one of the earlier iterations outside of the Rolex dress line, the Day-Date, Cellini, Datejust, etc., that they started to step into the realm of that. So this specific example is also in exceptional condition. We do have one mark here on the lug. This is the type of watch that, because it's a little older, you don't want to polish it up and take away a lot of the metal, but look at how strong that bracelet is. There's certainly a lot of the original metal there, if not all of it. If I'm trying to inspect, there's never a true way to tell if a watch has been unpolished. You never know if it's hit a buffing wheel or not. But a lot of the times what I like to do is take my finger and feel the underside of the side of the case. And depending on how sharp that is, that's how you can tell a lot more easily than if you were to just look at the curvature of the case. Because a lot of the time, in reality, no matter what anyone tells you, it is speculation. Unless we've viewed the history of this watch's life, there's no way for us to truly know if anyone gave it a light touch-up or heavy polishing is more obvious. But when it does hit a buffing wheel, it's got a round curvature. If you shove this into a fabric wheel or a pad, it's gonna curve around it. And so a lot of the time it will take that sharp edge on the bottom off. And this has a very, very sharp edge on the bottom there. And so between that and this bracelet is just ridiculously nice. you can tell this is a fantastic example of a very unique watch.
All right, we got a lot of watches. First one we're gonna start off with, this is just me authenticating stuff, but we have a Mark 18, which is an IWC pilot watch that is long since been discontinued, but this one's in titanium. Very simple watch. I think this is a great looking watch for, you know, somebody to have a daily beater, or I call it a camping watch. You just throw it on in nature and go hike, go do something with it. It's super basic. It's got a date and that's it. So it looks like the crystal's definitely scratched up. Bezel has some scratches. Otherwise, it's not in bad shape. But again, it's it's an inexpensive watch, relatively speaking, compared to what we sell. So it's definitely not bad. It looks good. 16610. All right, so this is a U serial. So this has what we call the Tritium Nova dial. So it's like a mix of Luminova and tritium. So it still actually glows, which is pretty cool. You don't see that too often. And this one's in decent condition. Needs a little love, not much. It needs a new crystal because it's pretty heavily scratched. There's a massive scratch going across the top. And perhaps a period correct bezel. This is a service bezel, but otherwise the watch is really nice. 14060, it's another cool watch. So this is another 14060. The bezel's kind of turning a little blue. It's a Swiss only dial. So they only really made these from like 98, 99. They did a very short run of them. So a lot of collectors that buy a lot of these 5-digit watches, especially the later ones, definitely look for the Swiss only dials because again, it's just a rare feature that you can only find on a very, very small window of time that they were produced. So, and then after that, they went to the 14060M. We've got the coveted, discontinued Rolex Oyster Flex. We're getting a lot of beat up watches today. God, this thing is just crazy worn. There's not a surface on this watch that hasn't been abused. God, this watch might get rejected too. This one, yeah, this is gonna end. Yeah, it's got scratched bezel, which is hard to scratch ceramic, so it's impressive they scratched the ceramic. Oh God, there's chips in the crystal. There's some pretty good dings on the end links. Yeah, once you see dings, dents, and scratches and chips, that's pretty much game over for this watch. Next watch, I know you guys are familiar with this pouch. It is the 007 No Time to Die. Yeah, this is how they come. They just kind of come with this very basic, it's not basic, it's kind of cool. It just rolls out. It's very much an Indiana Jones like side pocket, side quest type watch. Market price for one of these right now, roughly $6,500 to $7,500 depending on who's selling it. And at that price is gonna usually be on the higher side with the bracelet. If you want it without the bracelet, you could expect to pay around $55. You have the shakiest camera in the game. It's like you film in earthquakes. You got a Panda Daytona. These are perfect watch to buy to hold value. I think they're finally holding value where they should. They went up, they went really low, but they always hold that value of high 20s, low 30s if you're going fresh, brand new. Even the new 126-500 is now coming down to like that $33,000, $34,000 territory, which is good. And this one's pre-owned, so. And just to run you the differences, in case you don't know, between the 116-500 and the 126-500, the biggest updates you're gonna notice right away is the 126-500 picked up much thinner sub-dial rings. It also picked up a metal retainer for the bezel, so now it's just an inlay as opposed to what actually holds on the crystal. And another thing that I also noticed about them is they got a little bigger. So technically this is like 38.5 and you get a true 40 millimeter case on the new Daytona. So it actually got bigger, and it's a huge noticeable difference when you have them side by side. And 40 millimeters on a Rolex, when it's a true 40, it's a big watch. Another thing that got changed is the case. You see how the case shape is on this?
Yep.
Versus this? So now the new stainless steel Daytonas have this case shape. So this is the exact case you get on a new ceramic Daytona.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's definitely got a lot of upgrades. Obviously you got a new movement, which now has the 72-hour power reserve. You just have more of a refined look, a lot more updates to that watch. What do we got? Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No, please don't start with that.
Call me Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
5167R, complete box papers. So if you look at that, 324 SC. So that means center second. So the movement says 324, but it isn't stamped SC. But That's right.
Cool.
The $1 million question is, does it fit me? Because I bought this watch. It's like one notch too small, which sucks. I love me a 5167R. So there you guys have it. The shiny 5167R. All right, next watch. It's a pretty cool watch. I know this watch, one of my clients. 116509 racing dial in silver. This is a sick watch. Yeah, it's called the racing dial. And what's cool about these styles is they're known to turn tropic. So I've seen some of these actually turn purple. I've seen them turn, like, they turn crazy colors. Silver is such a, and I tell you, with Rolex, silver dials can really go a lot of different ways. I've seen them go brown. I've seen them turn like, this specific dial can get crazy. Oof. I just love how crazy fast this thing beats at, because it has like a flawless movement to it.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed. There have been tons of behind the scenes deals. I know you haven't seen much here in the store, but a lot of online business has been happening. We're very grateful, very thankful to be kicking off the year strong. Stay tuned for next week's video. Like, comment, subscribe below. Let us know what more you guys would like to see in the office, and we'll see you next week.